to let's talk about Jey Uso because I kind of seen this coming from a mile away because we've seen this. I feel like the past couple weeks where Gunther is healing, getting heat on Otis and Akira Tozawa, and Jey Uso comes out for the save. We saw this again during the match with Gunther versus Otis. Gunther kind of struggled with Otis, but he still got the win, obviously, because it's fucking Gunther. But Otis still did his thing. Otis still got his shit in. Otis still did the worm on Gunther. Yes, Otis did the worm on the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther of all people. I think we have I'm surprised
BT,
here.
BT, BT, BT.
So, we saw Gunther. BT, you came in just at the right time. We're talking about Jey Uso now.
Oh, perfect.
He,
Can everybody hear me clearly?
yeah, you're
We all
good.
good? All right, good.
So, after the match, Gunther continues the beatdown on Otis. Jey Uso comes out to the for the save. Now, my question: It's good. It was good to see Jey Uso. Jey Uso picked up the title belt after Gunther dropped it. Jey Uso looked good with the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not gonna lie, but are we gonna do anything else with this? Is it just every week up until WrestleMania? Is it just gonna be Gunther beating up on Otis, and then Jey Uso coming out for the save? Mr. Blood, I see you. I went first with you last time, but we're gonna start with BT Knight this time, and then we'll go with you, Mr. Blood.
Don't worry, Mr. Blood. I'll be very quick. So, first off, Jey Uso does look really good with the world title. I'm glad you could see that. Second off, um, I don't know about what we're going to be doing every single week going forward, but I do know that we're basically going to lean into more of the crash out Jay that we were used to watching back in the pandemic. Like, not to the exact same heights as it, but there's still layers of it there, and that's what we need more, because that's exactly the hints of it that we were getting when Jay was cutting his promo or answering fucking what's her name, Caitlin, whatever her name is,
Jenner.
when yeah, when he was answering her question, and he says, like, they're doubting me, and he even said there's hints of himself doubting himself as well. So
Yeah.
so I think they're gonna dive into more of that stuff, but we need to see more of that crash out Jay stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, if we get that stuff, that's all I give a shit about. But for what they're doing going forward, I don't know the specifics, but that's what I really want to see. So those are my thoughts.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And we saw more of that later on. Jey Uso did an interview when he was walking out of the arena, a really passionate promo. So yeah, I think you're right, BT. All right, Mr. Blood.
Uh, the problem with this feud, I think, is pretty simple. WrestleMania is too far away. WrestleMania is either normally the very end of March, and back in the day, it used to be in the first like weekend of March, but it is literally April 19th and 20th this year. Last year, it was the first weekend. And the problem is you had Jay win the Rumble way back in January now. Okay, we're in March. Then you've got fucking the problem being that, okay, well, you have to go 3 months almost to Mania and make this feud last. And I don't think the problem with the feud is Jey. I think the problem with the feud is Gunther. Gunther, no offense to him, he is an incredible in-ring talent. He is not entertaining enough to sustain a feud that is taking this long. The thing is, when Gunther went up against Sammy, Sammy carried that feud. When Gunther went up against Sheamus, Sheamus carried that feud. It's literally what it's literally the problem is Gunther is always a champion. He's never not a champion. And if he isn't a champion, he just doesn't have the gold for 2 fucking months until he wins gold. The problem is you took somebody like Gunther who is so good in ring, so legitimate, pardon me, has an insane presence about him. But in every single feud Gunther is in, it's his opponent that is always carrying the feud because they're more interesting than he is. They're more charismatic than he is. They have a much bigger crowd connection than he does. Jey is the most over guy in the company right now, and he's in a feud with a guy who is a world champion, but doesn't have really any crowd fare. Doesn't have any, isolating thing that the crowd, when he comes out, they do a thing with him or they have a chant for him or anything like that. He's the ring general, and but it's like they don't do anything. When he comes out, no one's doing this. No one's going, Gunther. Like there's no connection that he has with the audience other than I'm the evil foreign heel.
Okay.
And Jey is doing as much as he can. And the problem is he's only getting what Gunther is capable of giving him back. If anybody else was the world heavyweight champion, if Seth was the world champion, there would be actual character for Jey to bounce off of in his promos, in these segments.
Oh boy.
All Gunther can do is come out and try to speak his way through his accent into his promos, do filler shit with Alpha Academy, or sneak attack Jey. Are we supposed to really do that for the next month and a half? Because that's all Gunther has. That's all that's in his bag in between feuds and promos. That's all he's ever done in every feud he's ever been in is attack from behind, shit talk on the mic, they do a brawl, and then they go to the PLE. The problem is this PLE is so far away that it's going to get real old real quick.
All right. So here's the other side of things. So you mentioned that, you said that Gunther, did you say he was kind of boring, right? His promos are boring.
I don't think Gunther's boring. I think he has a problem getting through his promos. He's not good on the mic. He's not. And anybody who says Gunther is lying to themselves.
Okay, neither is Jey, but here's the thing.
Jey is a lot better.
Here's the thing. Gunther is at least cutting promos. I mean, you're right. There's something missing with this feud because it's such a far away. That's why I was making the question. Is this all we're gonna see? Because it's mostly Gunther coming out, Gunther doing all the talking. Jey Uso comes out and he just chases Gunther off. When is Jey Uso cut a promo backstage? Yeah, that's cool, but like Gunther is cutting the promos in the ring. He's healing in the ring.
But Gunther is saying words. Jey is doing character work. There's a difference.
Jey Uso needs to say words to build up this feud in order to make this feud more interesting. It's not going to get interesting if Jey Uso is doing his character work while Gunther is trying to heat up the feud.
Gunther isn't trying to heat up the feud. He's too busy attacking everybody else but Jey.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, all the everything that Gunther's
2 weeks of Alpha,
just...
2 weeks of Alpha Academy now. 2 weeks of it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with they're just trying to protect Jey Uso because, I mean, he can. Honestly, I like Jey Uso, and I like to make fun because I know you guys like him, but his promos aren't that great.
He's very, but at least when he fires up, He's able to do what Gunther can't on the mic. He can resonate with the audience, and that's the goal.
Yeah. Toxic, let's go with you, and then yeah, let's go with you, Toxic, and then Tommy, you can finish this up. What are your thoughts on the Gunther and Otis match and Jey Uso coming out for the save?
I'm gonna start with the Gunther and Otis match. Amazing match. I loved every single second of it. Every single match was good tonight. But I like this match more because it's giving people that are at the bottom of the roster, like the Alpha Academy, a chance to fight against someone big like Gunther and giving them a potential shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. But we already know that Jay's next, so they're obviously not going to win. Now I'm going to talk about the Jay stuff. Oh shit, Crash Out Jay is back. Crash Out Jay is back. And if I'm honest, Crash Out Jay is my favorite version of Jay. He's not gonna take any of your shit. If you talk shit, you're gonna get hit. And I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say that because R-Truth said I don't even know if that's PG. So never mind. But yeah, I'm loving everything about this feud, but Blood's right. Gunther is the boring one in this feud. In this feud, not in general. In this feud, it's mainly Jay because Gunther's attacking everyone else and not saying anything about Jay. He's just shit talking Jay behind his back, not even saying it to his face. And then whenever he does, he waits for Jay to get caught off guard, like with A-Town Down Under, who attacked him after he got done with Gunther. So he's just not even making this feud interesting. It's Jay that's doing it. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Tommy.
When it comes to Jay's promo stuff, Snug, you seem to forget something. That back in the day, which one of the Usos was the talker? It
I
wasn't
couldn't even
Jay.
tell them apart.
It wasn't Jay. It was Jimmy. Jimmy was the one between the two that was doing the promos. It was him. It wasn't Jay. But they're right. Overall, Gunther, he's not fully boring. I will say that. He's not boring. Although his moveset is, it's mainly chop, 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 kick, power bomb. That's it. Except for the headlocks that he puts them in from time to time. But between the two, Jay is the one that has more connection to the crowd. Gunther doesn't really do anything except attempt to get into his opponent's head. That's pretty much it. Without Ludwig Kaiser, who actually has connection to the crowd, Gunther almost has nothing. Without the rest of it.
All right. Moving on then. So besides that, tonight we had 3 title matches, right? Besides the main event that we already talked about, we had the tag team titles were on the line, right? The War Raiders versus